Hello, and welcome to Bloodborne the Old Hunters DLC. We are in the Cathedral Ward, and we have the item we need to enter the DLC, so we're gonna activate it by getting grabbed by this amygdala. That always looks so unpleasant.
Their children, too. And their children forever true.
So, getting back into this game, we all know why you're here. It's because you have seen that my physical dexterity is equal to or greater than 3 out of 10 of the extras they hire for Tupperware infomercials. You know the ones I'm talking about. If not, you're probably too young to understand what an infomercial is. Look it up, they're hilarious. That's not open from this side. So we awaken into a twisted version of Yarnum. One with daylight, actually. Ah! He is aggressive. Ooh. We're a little faster than he is, though. 3 blood vials. Old hunter cap. Let's see. Old hunter. Old hunter cap with wide brim that hides their sharp gaze. In the old days, when hunters were 10 a penny, this was part of their standard garb. Something fairly large sounds like they're moving around out here. The landscape's a little bit warped because it is a nightmare. And physical qualities of things tend to get a little bit messed around with in them. Wielding the same weapon as the last one. Ah. Another one down. Blood vials. Tempering damp blood gem 4. Heal up a little bit. And we'll drop down to grab this item. Old hunter gloves. Oops, and we took off our own gloves. Old hunter gauntlets made of brass to protect their weapon-bearing hands. At the time, some hunters believed that certain metals would ward off beast blood. On a night of the hunt, it was no wonder that some resort to superstition. Understandable. If you're out fighting werewolves, I suppose some superstition would be in order. Unsurprisingly. So that's where we fought the other hunter. Blood vials. Frenzied Cold Blood 9. Their dogs are a little less shaggy in the dream. Twin bloodstone shards, 3. Oh! Blood vials. But all of the blood mad hunters here. Don't recall if it's full canon, but in my head canon, it's always been a bit that sorry, got distracted. In my head canon, it's always been that this is kind of where hunters go after they die. Like, that's the curse on them, is... And those beasties will act aggressive, but they'll always shy away from you. And the hunters in this area just keep slaughtering them because they're stuck in their past. They don't understand and don't move forward. Old hunter trousers. Old hunter trousers that protected countless hunters from the beasts in an older age. A widespread belief of the period was that beast blood crept up the right leg, and this led to the double-wrapped belt. So, interestingly enough with that bit of information, if you go to Canehurst and look at the knights only have one of their legs coated in armor. I've always wondered if that was because of that belief. It's possible. Blood vials. It's not the beasts that'll hurt you here, it's the hunters and their stuff. Ah. Blood vial. And quicksilver bullets. Nothing up here. Madman's knowledge. This area is interesting. Just setup of the church, essentially. Ooh, that one actually attacked. Ah. Oh, now that we hit that one, it's mad. Blood vials. Any other hunters lurking about? Oh, and you're an aggressive one. Would be easier to clear out all of the beasts, but it just doesn't feel right. Know what I mean? If they're not actually harming us. Blood vials. They just follow and cower. Not causing anyone issues. It's kind of like how I felt about Old Yarnum. Just us, you know, busting into their homes and causing trouble for them. Twin bloodstone shards. Right, gotta figure out where we're at. The odd landscape here makes it a bit easy to get confused. Yeah, up this way. Well, looks like all of them were aggressive. And another hunter probably took them out. Old hunter garb. One day, old hunter garb. One day the hunters disappeared, and Yarnamites began to whisper of the hunter's sin. Drunk with blood, chasing after beasts, they would pass on to the nightmare, every last one of them. Probably hunted enough that they became blood drunk, and then an amygdala grabbed them. Brought them here. Maybe the curse is the origin of the amygdalas. That is quite the beast. Ow. Damn. Got a bit of Cthulhu face going on. Ah! It's interesting that when it attacks, it makes the sound of the church bells ringing. Not really sure if there's a true meaning behind that, but it's interesting. Back in at the Hunter's Nightmare. Surprise, surprise. The surprising thing is that we're able to leave the nightmare, but perhaps that's just an effect of being a hunter of the dream. Just kind of batter him. It is interesting here that the hunters respawn also. Because that didn't happen in the regular world.
Oh, blood!
Blood vials. Alright, there's a hunter over here. Ow! Damn! Go through that whole rigmarole. And they run up and fight Cthulhu. What have we here? Molotov cocktail. We might be going about this fight wrong. We may need to try and use our gun a little bit to counter his attacks. Luckily, it's not too far of a run to him. Some blood vials. You know, with my view on rallying, I think it would be really easy for any of the hunters to become blood drunk. Because it really does encourage you to just keep hacking away at their corpses after you hit them. Yes, yes, attack and we run. Nope, you made it through. It's interesting how the fights are largely the same, but a little bit different. Oof. Oof. Oh. That was our chance, and we kind of blew it. Ah. Yep, that still did not go well. We had that one shot, but we were not prepared for it. Live and learn. Or live, die, repeat. I forget what movie that was a catchphrase from. I never actually saw it. I think it had Tom Cruise in it. kind of funny in the Hunter's Nightmare. The Hunters are all on a power trip. Yep. We fell a long ways there. Which is kind of interesting, because in a nightmare, usually you're not on the power trip, you're underpowered. So just kind of interesting juxtaposition there. But I mean, if you're stuck killing things over and over again, I mean, probably not the best thing for your psyche. And yet, here I am for entertainment, playing games where I repeatedly kill things over and over again. Could say some interesting things about us in society with it. And away we go. If I die on this guy again, I'm just gonna go past him next time. Well, he's starting off a little stronger this time. Yep. Get it? And that did not do as much as I hoped it would. Ah! Get a hit in, come on, get a hit in. We got it. Oof. That was a tough one. Dropped 6 blood vials, though. This is in my first playthrough of this game. Or, well, I only played through the DLC on the second playthrough, but this is the boss that gave me the most trouble. I'm not sure we can actually fight him at this point, but it's Lawrence. He's the one whose skull is in the cathedral ward here. Eye pendant. Let's see, do we... Eye pendant. Eye pendant that unlocks the surgery altar. An eye pendant which unlocks the surgery altar. There are 2 cathedrals in the Hunter's Dream. One lies past the River of Blood, and another contains the private research hall of the Healing Church. Only chosen members of the Healing Church or their lamentable patients can enter the research hall using this eye. Grant eyes to the surgery altar skull. So that unlocks a path forward later on. So I suppose you don't have to actually defeat that thing until quite a bit later. Blood vials, 6 of them. This is fun. Ah! Destroy these lamentable machines. Oh! Hello. Ah, you're triggering stuff by standing on that, huh? Delayed explosives. Ah. Ah. Whoa. That guy hit hard. Ah. Blood vials, 3 of them. It's very interesting, the places that are so familiar. Delayed Molotov. Like, this building is very similar to one of the shortcut areas. The building that had the guy with, like, the Gatling gun. Yep. Basically the same area. Only that time the Gatling gun guys dead? Interesting. I had forgotten about that. Something to keep in mind for next time. Right, I think we opened up the shortcut here. Yep. Ow. It's interesting how their weapon seems to be a more unwieldy version of the one I use. Ow. Ah. Making sure their dogs aren't coming after us, because that could be an unpleasant surprise. Does the big guy respawn? I'm not positive. Yep, looks like he does. We'll leave them to their fun there. Head on over to the River of Blood to deal with our own stuff. Ah! Ah! Fell into that trap. How unfortunate. Deal with the delayed Molotovs here. Lure you guys out so as not to take on too many of y'all at the same time. And you had our blood echoes. So this is the river of blood that they referred to? Of all the things slain by the hunters? At least I'm reading into it that that's where they came from. And of course, very well-fed tick creatures. That was a near hit. Yeah. Not sure what triggers all of that. Maybe it's a weapon swinging by them. Boom hammer. Ah, it's going past that guy. It's a booby trap. Got it. Boom hammer. Trick weapon used by the old hunters and crafted by the workshop heretics, the powder kegs. A giant hammer equipped with a miniature furnace. When ignited and fired, it emits a volley of flame that explodes furiously upon impact. Crush the beasts, then burn them. The brute simplicity of the boom hammer was favored by hunters with an acute distaste for beasts. And we can technically use it, but we are not very good with that. Let's see, is the blood poisonous? No, it's not. Just had to make sure. Ah! But that's poisonous. Nope, there's a bunch of them. Ah, and guys who will throw stuff at us as we fight them. Of course. Why wouldn't it be? Let's check what's this way really quickly. Anything worthwhile. Beast blood pellet. So this is where our lantern would be. In the waking realm, or I suppose it's not necessarily truly the waking realm. Ooh. You are quite something. Almost got him. Firing hammer badge. Badge crafted by the Auto Workshop, precursor to the workshop of the heretical powder kegs. The powder kegs were driven by singular ideas and crafted strange weapons of great intricacy. It is clear that the philosophy of the powder kegs was already established at this time. And they were using the Beast Blade, which kind of... It gives you very quick attacks that you don't really... so it doesn't have, like, the same cadence as the other weapons. You can just keep attacking endlessly until you run out of stamina. So it's a bit different, but... and it grants you permanent, like, Beast Blood. Old Hunter Top Hat. Old Hunter Top Hat, warped by bloodstains. In the old days, when hunters were 10 a penny, this was part of their standard garb. So, essentially the same description as the Old Hunter hat. Right. How do we want to take these things on? Frenzied Cold Blood 8. Oof. Ah! Well, we got one. Your turn. Just another one down. Another one bites the dust. Ah. Oof. They do hit hard. And that poison blood spray is a problem. Brief retreat. While we regroup. And take them back on. That one's almost down. If we can get our hits in on it. There we go. Oof. And was there anything you were guarding? A loot beast. That's at least something. Bloodstone chunk, too. Bloodstone chunks are still a little useful for us in that we have a few weapons that we've messed around with that can use them. I do not like the sound of this area. Ah! Got a Gatling gun for us, huh? Ah! That Gatling gun doesn't give us any breathing room. And he healed, of course. Ah! Whew, we got him. Gatling gun. Bloodstone chunk, 1. This cave does not seem like a friendly place, so we'll be a little cautious as we read. This is a highly customized portable version of the stationary Gatling gun operated by the old hunter Jura in Old Yarnum. It was the weapon of choice of the youngest of Jura's 3 companions. The Gatling gun boasts exceptional rapid-firing functionality, but it is considered a cumbersome weapon due to its excessive weight and insatiable consumption of quicksilver bullets. Yeah, I believe you'd run through it pretty quickly. Twin bloodstone shards. Ah! Okay. I wasn't sure what that was. Oh, there's a few of you there. Take them down. Blood vials. Bloodstone chunk. Wait, what was that? That is... oh! Crap. That is a blood-starved beast, isn't it? Lock on. Where is it? Okay, there we go. Ow. Ah! Got stuck on some stonework there. Ah. Let's not die here. Lock on. Go after it aggressively. Oh. Warm, damp blood gem. Well, it's not expecting the blood-starved beast here. I had forgotten about that. Twin bloodstone shards, too. I suppose if you just go after the items, you just end up down here, stuck with that, and a bunch of other creatures. Delightful. Amygdala arm. The arm of a small amygdala great one. Strictly speaking, the amygdalan arm is no trick weapon of any sort, but certain madmen wield them like clubs. Starts as a large, tough, blunt weapon formed of bone, but when extended, the hand quivers as if it were still alive. That's kind of a gruesome one. Though I suppose if you're killing things endlessly in a nightmare, you'll use what weapons you have at your disposal. Back into the river of blood. Looks like we might be able to quickly dart over here. Take out these guys. Ah! Oh! They're coordinating better than I... Shit. That did not go as I had wished. Ah! Back on your feet. Ah, he got us. Should have backed off and healed when I had the chance. Well, we at least know the end of one path there. So that's a way we don't have to go forward in the future. Well, at least we still have a supply of blood vials to restore with. And I really should heal before I pick up their loot, since so many of them are dropping blood vials. Almost as though they knew you'd be needing them for this area. Crazy. Ah. Saw that coming and did not react to it. Maybe that church giant Cthulhu monster is like their, they did associate the church with the old ones. And, and that's why the bell ringing is associated with that, is that they knew the church was up to something that was causing some of those. And I almost fell for that trap again. And maybe that's why that creature is in its form there. I suppose that would make the most sense to my headcanon. We do not want him to get hits off with his boom hammer. Down you go. Right, I had forgotten about you. Quicksilver bullets. That's a lot of blood echoes. And a lot of ticks. Let's head down here.
You're a hunter with your sanity, aren't you? Must have taken a wrong turn then, eh? Well, we're more alike than you think. This is the hunter's nightmare, where hunters end up when drunk with blood. You've seen them before. Aimless, wandering hunters slavering like beasts. This is what the poor fools have to look forward to. So, don't be brash. Turn back before it's too late. Unless you've something of an interest in nightmares.
Nightmares are fascinating.
Yes, I see. You sense a secret within the nightmare and cannot bear to leave it be. As if the spirit of Bergenworth lives on within you. Such inquisitive hunters will relish the nightmare. But beware. Secrets are secrets for a reason, and some do not wish to see them uncovered. Especially when the secrets are particularly unseemly. Beware. Secrets are especially.
Yep, that's encouraging. And shortcut unlocked. We have too many blood echoes to risk losing them there. Get our weapons repaired. Because when your weapon is damaged, it does practically nothing.
Go on. Very well. Let me stand.
Gearman is not what we're dealing with currently. Nope, we can only go up one time. Guess we'll do stamina, or endurance.
Farewell, good hunter. May...
Alright. So, we're back into another nightmare, and I hope you'll stick with us and explore to see what unseemly secret this nightmare hides and those who are trying to keep it hidden.